Welcome back to another video, and we are here. It is the knockout phases. We have made it. The group stage is all finished. We know everyone who's qualified, everyone who's made it. We are starting finally the elimination phase. And not a bad way to start it off with Canada and South Africa today. Plenty of other duels to be had, but what I will be doing is my predictions of who I think will be coming out of every elimination game and see who will be going on to the next round. Let's kick it off with the first two that I mentioned, South Africa and Canada. South Africa, poor showing in that opening game against Mexico. If you told me that was the South Africa that was showing up to the World Cup, I would have made them for dead right there at the group station, not even getting out. But they showed something else in that game against the Czech Republic. I remember watching that game, and if you take away the first 5-10 minutes from each half from the Czech Republic, it was all South Africa. As I mentioned, South Africa was unlucky to come out with just a point from that game. They, in my eyes, they were the deserved winners. They definitely upped their game, and they deserved that win in that one. And but at least they were able to rescue a draw. They come up against South Korea, play an even better game. They defend well. They do just enough to get that goal that they needed. They edged the win when everybody had them for dead. When everybody had South Korea passing in second place. Uh, South Africa did the impossible and they won the game. They came out of the group in second place, well deserved. And same for Canada. Canada played well against Bosnia and Herzegovina, just like South Africa against the Czech Republic. They were very unfortunate not to walk away with the win against Bosnia. I do believe Canada was the better team, and they did miss like two sitters right there where they should have put them away, but they were still lucky to walk away with the point. I think they should have been able to walk away with winning this group, but that last game against Switzerland really threw a wrench into their plans. Canada was dominant in their 6-0 win against Qatar, but again, it is Qatar. We're not talking about no powerhouse or no strong nation there, but at least they beat them, they pummeled them, they did what they had to do. They secured qualification with that game. Basically, they made it impossible for the other teams to try to get that goal difference up. They fell down to Switzerland 2-1, but they are getting still some goals. They did get some shots against Switzerland. They were the better team shot wise against them, but it's all about how many you actually put away. So today's gonna be a good game between these two. I do see Canada attacking more, whereas I am gonna see South Africa playing more of a defensive game, hoping to get something on the counter. Given how unfortunate Canada has been in certain situations, I see them conceding a goal. So I do see this game either being 1-1 going to extra time and then being defined in penalties, or overall just a 2-1 game, but Canada advances from this one. The one thing I will say though is if Canada can get on the score sheet early on, then they're gonna blow South Africa out of the gate. Again, I know I mentioned it's very likely gonna be a 1-1 or a 2-1 with a late game winner for Canada. Or if it's 1-1, then Canada just takes it in penalties. I don't see a goal coming in extra time. But if Canada can get on the score sheet again soon, early on in the game, as I mentioned, they will blow this game away and take it. They'll score 3 to 4 goals on South Africa. And moving on to the next ones. Yeah, I'm sorry, that one was a bit of a longer explanation. I'll try to be quicker with my next one so we can get through this video faster. Tomorrow we have Brazil and Japan, two nations that have done enough in the group stages. Brazil won their group. They took 7 points out of 9. They drew that first one against Morocco, where Morocco were better the first 20-30 minutes. Brazil, I don't want to say they were better at any point. They did enough to equalize and maybe have another shot or two, but at no point did I really think they had a better performance than what we saw from Morocco in those first couple minutes. Japan played well against the Netherlands. When they needed to get goals, they did, and they went on the offensive. They really pushed the Netherlands back, and they did. They played good football. They really do. So I could see this being a really, really tight game where Japan's gonna, they're gonna sit back. They're gonna defend. Brazil, they're gonna try to do their as much as they can. They're gonna try to depend more on Benny, as I've been seeing. Japan will most likely play for the counter attack, but if Brazil can get on the score sheet first, yeah, Japan's going to push up. I could see them both, again, drawing in this game at a certain point. Regardless, Brazil takes this game. I'm seeing a 3-1. A 3-1 game for Brazil. Right after that one comes Germany versus Paraguay. Not much to really say about this one. Germany is going to take this one. Paraguay is going to try to set a defensive game. But let's be honest, this is not going to be the first major upset in the knockout stages. Paraguay, I can't even see them getting a goal. This team has no offensive game. If you look at their strikers' records, if in their club season and international, performances, goals don't come with this team. They will play a dirty, ugly game defensively, but I still think the Germans bag this one out. I'm seeing a 3-0 win, 2 to 3-0 win for Germany. We end tomorrow night with Netherlands versus Morocco. This is the first one where this one could go either way. I really would like to think that Morocco will edge this one up. Netherlands have a lot more firepower to them that they can get things going, but Morocco plays this really really good tight game that they can complicate things for the Netherlands like they did for Brazil, like they did for Scotland. They scored in the first minute against Scotland, and then they just closed the rest of the game out really good. They put the pressure on Brazil really really good early on. I could see them doing the same to the Netherlands. If Morocco can get a goal within the first 20 to 30 minutes with the high pressure, I could see them defending well and taking this game. But the Netherlands are they're not just gonna sit back. They do have a good game. This one I also see going to extra time. This one's the hardest one, but I do see the Netherlands taking this game as well. But it definitely won't be easy though. Like I said, I see this game going to extra time. Regardless of the outcome, I do see the Netherlands advancing to the next round. We kick off Tuesday morning with Ivory Coast versus Norway. This one is also going to be a tough one to predict right here. Ivory Coast has been playing a really good, solid game defensively. But Norway's firepower, they have Holland. Him alone, I could see him being the game changer in this one. I'm a really big fan of Jan Diomande for Ivory Coast. He's going to be making things happen on that wing. He's just a very creative player. I can see him bagging either another assist or another goal. See what he can make things happen. If I do believe that if Ivory Coast is to stay in this one and put up a fight, it's gonna have to come through him. He's gonna have to be the facilitator and be the one to generate the play. Overall, though, I still think Holland's firepower is gonna be too strong in this one. And if things get ugly for Norway, he alone is gonna power them through to the next round. So I do see Norway making it out to the next round. Moving over to France, Sweden. I'm not really going to touch on this one. Everybody knows. Sweden's not going to do anything in this one. Sweden hammered Tunisia. They got hammered by the Netherlands. Japan, they played out for the draw, I believe, right there, which was good enough for both teams. Not much on the line right there. France is taking it. And don't be surprised if they walk all over Sweden as well. No disrespect to the Swedes, but after what I saw in that Netherlands game, I don't really see you guys standing a chance against France. But that's, again, no disrespect to them. That's my stance almost for almost any team in this competition. France is just a, I don't even know what to describe what they are. They're just going to basically steamroll past every team that they face off in this tournament. Closing out Tuesday, we have Mexico versus Ecuador. This game, of all the teams that they could have faced from the third round, from the third best placed teams, why did it have to be Ecuador? The one team that it won't be affected by the altitude of the Azteca playing in Mexico City. I am hoping that Mexico still with their fan base, everything behind them, playing in their home stadium, they can edge out that win. Ecuador showed a strong game against Germany. They played a great game in the first one, too, against the Ivory Coast. I thought they were more unfortunate not to walk away with the win, or at least a draw. I really didn't think they deserved to lose that game, and it was so unfortunate the way that they did. And then they just can't put things up. They just couldn't put anything away against Curaçao. 15 saves for the keeper. I think that was a new record, 15 saves within 90 minutes. I know Tim Howard has the all-time record for 16 saves, but he did it in extra time. The keeper room for Curaçao had 15 in 90 minutes, so Ecuador should have put it away. They are relying on an old man striker up front and Ender Valencia, so I can't see that being a factor for Mexico, who has a really solid defense. So does Ecuador, though. I'm not throwing them anything against them. They have a very solid defense, too. Yeboah is a very strong player for Ecuador as well. He makes a lot of things happen on that wing. I still see, though, Quinones being a factor in this game. There's just something about that man who he just shines in these high pressure moments, these elimination games. There's something to him that he just comes alive differently in these type of games. So I see Mexico edging this one. This won't be a pretty game. This is going to be an ugly game. But Mexico wins this one either 1-0 or 2-1. Wednesday morning, we got England versus DR Congo. DR Congo, congratulations on getting that win last night and making it as one of the better third place teams. You guys have played solidly throughout this World Cup. I do see the dream ending here, though. I am very sorry. England is gonna take this one, just mainly because of the talent that they have. You guys will play a defensive game, and I really hope for you guys that it's you. And I would like to be proven wrong, but I just don't see how England doesn't get through to the next round. Like with the amount of talent that they have, with Tuchel at the helm, they are the favorites to go here. Jude Bellingham is going to make things happen. I see Harry Kane bagging another goal or two. I see him. He's going to get a brace in this one. I do see him getting at least 2 goals in this one to keep fighting for that golden boot and keep adding to his World Cup tally for all-time England goal scorer. But England takes this one. I'm seeing a 2-3-0 scoreline for them to advance to the next round. Moving over to midday, we have Belgium versus Senegal. The African giants, the African champions, are taking this one. I'm not impressed by what I saw from Belgium in this World Cup. Yeah, they hammered New Zealand 5-1 in the last game of the group stages, but dude, that's what you're supposed to do with a team like them. Like, no disrespect to the Kiwis, but you're supposed to beat a team like that, and you're supposed to be convincing and dominant, being the quote unquote European powerhouse team that we've seen you to be for the past couple of years. You've been this dark horse that everyone's been saying, oh, watch out for Belgium, watch out for Belgium. There's no more watch out for Belgium. It's done. You guys got out of the group. You guys won the group somehow, and I don't think you guys should have won it. It definitely should have been Egypt the winner of this group, but you guys won it. Congrats to you guys. But it ends here. Senegal is taking this one. I am seeing a 3-1 scoreline for Senegal. We close Wednesday night with the U.S. versus Bosnia. Because of home field advantage of what they have, I see the U.S. taking this. I didn't really see any offensive prowess from Bosnia. Like, they are a tall team. They do play for set pieces. That's how they got their goal against Canada. But they really couldn't do it against Canada if it wasn't that way. I didn't see much to them. I didn't see much to them against Switzerland either. Well, I didn't see anything from Switzerland that game either. Like, if you see that game, it was 4-1. It was really deceiving. It was 2-0 up until the 90th minute, and the first goal came around like the 74th, 75th minute. And then the second goal came around like right at the 90th. So right at the 90th, we got the second one in a really unenthusiastic game. But from the 90th to the 96th, we got the 3-0 up, the 3-1, and then the 4-1. So we got more goals in added time than we did in regular time. So I didn't really see anything from Bosnia other than an aerial game. So as long as the U.S. is tactically smart and they don't lose focus on set pieces and things like that, they should mark well every set piece, every corner. They're not going to concede anything, and as long as they're clinical in front of net, they are taking this one. I see another powerful result for them, another 3-4-0 win for the U.S. Switching over to Spain versus Austria on Thursday afternoon. A little bit of a tricky one. Spain hasn't played anything too convincing for my liking. I really don't know what to expect from them. They played ugly against Uruguay. They only won that game because of a howler from Muslera. They played ugly against Capo Verde. They couldn't find spaces. Rodri comes out and complains that the rival wasn't playing for anything when you're Spain and you're supposed to be the dominant team regardless. Yeah, they hammered Saudi Arabia 4-0, but come on. Nobody really expects Saudi Arabia to get any points against these powerhouses like you did what you were supposed to against them. I believe if Yamil Lamal starts, has his game, and they play through him, Spain walks away with this one with a 2-3-0 win. Austria might be able to pull up a surprise, given that the fight and momentum that they had from the previous game going into this one. But when they played a serious opposition like Argentina, I didn't see anything of worry from Austria. So Spain takes this one. Not in a super convincing way. They're not taking it like that, but they're just simply because they have the better players. Yamil Lamal will get a goal or two. They'll win 1-2-0 for this game and move over to the next round. Next is Portugal versus Croatia. Portugal takes this one. They are the better team. Croatia, I stand on it. They're too old. They're too slow. The midfield of Portugal is going to dominate Croatia. Yeah, Croatia has Luka Modric, one of the all-time greats, but come on, there's not really much to them right there. They're an old team. They're slow. Portugal is just going to take this away based on their youth and experience. I know they have old man Cristiano Ronaldo up front too, but Portugal takes this one. And not only do they take this one, I do see them walking away with a few goals. I see Portugal walking away with a 3-4-0 win against Croatia. Sorry, let me change that. 3-1 or 4-1 win. I still don't trust Diogo Costa, so I can see Croatia getting a goal on that end. 10 off Thursday, Switzerland versus Algeria. It's going to be a tough game. It all depends on which version of Switzerland we're getting. We're getting the version of Switzerland that showed up the game against Qatar or the first 50, 60 minutes against Bosnia, then Algeria takes this one. But if we get the one that showed up against, that played that stronger game against Canada, that had the stronger end to the game against Bosnia, that when they wanted to, they were getting creation shots against Qatar, but they just weren't being clinical. If we get a Switzerland that shows up, wants to play, and is up for the task, they will win this one. And I could see them walking away 2-3-1 away. But if not, Algeria is going to take this one. If Switzerland comes out and they're just strolling, they don't really care, they're not up for it, Algeria is going to walk away with this one with the 2-0 win. And Switzerland's not even going to get on the score sheet. But if everything goes to plan how it should, Switzerland advances to the next round. Friday and last day of the round of 32. We start off with Australia and Egypt. Australia have been very solid defensively, but that can only get you so far. I do believe Egypt is the better team here. Egypt walks away with this game, and the Socceroos, the dream ends for you guys here. Your defensive game can only get you so far. I didn't see anything from you guys of note against the U.S. You guys did not play a good game. I didn't even dare watch that abomination of a game against Paraguay, that 0-0 game. I refused to even start it. I knew what type of game it was going to be. I knew it was going to be two ugly defensive sides playing against each other. Australia, the dream dies here, as I mentioned. Egypt walks away. Most Law backs a brace. Egypt wins 3-0. At the 3 p.m. kickoff, we have Argentina versus Cape Verde. Cape Verde, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you guys had to play Argentina in this one. Congrats on you guys making it out of this group, going out as the second best team. You guys haven't won yet. I would love to see you guys get a win before you knock out, but you guys were unfortunate to get Argentina. The one bright side that I have to you guys is that besides Messi on that team, I haven't really seen anything of note from anybody else. It was good that they finally got goals from two other players that weren't him yesterday, in Lo Celso and Lautaro Martinez, but if Messi shows up, it's practically wraps right there. They are going to walk away with this one. Vozinha, you did a hell of a showing for your nation. I'm glad that your family was finally able to be there to see your performances. The rest of the players too. I don't want to undermine the other ones either. They've all played a great factor for their nation in getting them there. They've been crucial. You have Vozinha in goal, Roberto Lopez in defense. Being solid right there. Sidney Cabral played great against Spain too. I don't really remember his performance against Uruguay, but I know he had a great showing against Spain. Kevin Pina gets his goal against Uruguay. So you have players that have already done enough for your country to be proud of. But I still see Argentina winning this one because of how great defensively you guys have shown to be, and the high quality keeper that you guys have. I don't see you guys getting a whole bunch put against you, but definitely a 2-0 win for Argentina to advance to the next round. And last but not least, we end the round of 32 with Colombia versus Ghana. Ghana, you guys have been solid this World Cup. You guys did leave a lot more to be desired against Croatia. I wasn't really impressed with that way of losing right there, especially after how solidly you've been defensively, especially more so against England. So it was sad to see you guys lose that way to Croatia. I think there could have been a better showing. After they got that equalizer, I didn't think it was going to be anything other than a draw. But unfortunately for them, they did lose. Colombia's momentum is through the roof right now. Yeah, they didn't win last night, but man, were they playing great. They've been playing amazing this whole tournament, all three games. There's one goal against, I think, Uzbekistan in the first one, where I just want to highlight the grit and fight of this team. I think it's Cucho Hernandez who fights for the ball. It's the third one that they get. Ball goes, it's basically a lost ball. The defender falls over Cucho Hernandez, if I'm not mistaken. And, you'd say, oh, he's just going to stay down. He's going to look for the foul. But no, he gets back up. He's fighting it. It sends a good cross in for Campas to put that away. That, if Colombia shows up with that type of fight, they're going to make a deep run, as I was mentioned last night. There's just something special about this Colombia team. I could see a quarterfinals, possibly even semifinals run. Here's a last dance for James, who had an amazing game last night. I know we're not looking at 2014 James anymore, but it's more than likely his last showing for his nation. He's going to bow out on a high, and I see this team making a deep run. So Colombia takes it and advances to the next round. And that'll do it for the round of 32. Let me know who you think is going to advance from each knockout game, who you think is going to make it the furthest in this tournament, and possibly who you even think is going to win it all. But if you did enjoy it, I would really appreciate it if you can like and subscribe, as that does mean a lot to the channel. And hopefully I can catch you again soon on the next one, where we will be making more videos for all the knockout games.